turbūt irgi pasakysiu, kad mes turim Wolfo Engelman alaus, tiek alkoholinio, tiek nealkoholinio, ypatingi skoniai. Beje, kas iš jūsų žinot, kad rytoj turėsim Garį Kasparovą kaip vieną iš pranešėjų, pakelkit rankas. O, kai kurie žinot. O kas žinot, kad Garis ne tik tai žais, bet kartu su Wolfu Engelmanu čia iškritėm jam tokią šunybę. Sakom, ar tu suloštum simultaną? Spėkit, ką jisai sako? Nu, sako, kaip. Kažkaip taip. Bet finale sako, bala nematė, padarom. Tai rytoj, reiškia, mes kartu su Wolfu Engelmanu irgi kviesim į pažiūrėti Gario Kasparovo simultaną su keliais žmonėm, beje, iš šitos salės dalyviais. Tiesą sakant, aš kai paklausiau Gario, sakau, klausyk, koks, tie, kas supranta apie šachmatus, koks yra laiko valdymas. Jisai taip sako, kalbėjo telefonu, nežinau, bet matytam pakrapštė galvą. Sako, nežinau, gal jokio. Kad sako, turėtume per 20 minučių baigti. Tai, užtikrintai, bet bus įdomu pažiūrėti, kaip iš tikrųjų. Viskas. Klausykit, tie, kas nuspręsit neiti, jūs be proto daug prarandat, bet būtinai ateikit rytoj. Technologinius pranešimus turėsim. Turėsim pranešimus apie kritinį protą ir apie pinklės visas, kurias mes turim, apie tai, ką gali fake newsai ir taip toliau, ir taip toliau, ir taip toliau. Beje, jeigu vis tik nuspręsite ateiti rytoj, būtinai turėkit savo vardo kortelę, nesgi be jos niekur nepateksit. O kaip būtų liūdna, ne? Ateinat, neturit vardo kortelės, nepatenkat. Tai nepamirškit jos, o dabar šiltai pasitikit, paskutinį šios dienos pranešėją, Magnuso Lindkvisto.
Lietuva, Arvydas Sabonis. We are the winners of Eurovision. Vadovų konferencija EBIT. Such an honor to be a part, to be with you here. I mean, I've been watching Greek ministers and Swedes and juggling mixologists, Australians breaking the speed record, and a whole lot of Lithuanians. So I know all of you are thirsty, and I won't be long. I'm here to tell you about Sweden, small, meaningless country, one NBA player. Lithuania has 400. But we do have the highest concentration of heavy metal rock bands per capita in the world. So now you know one reason to go to Sweden. I have, for the past 17 years, traveled around this map to look for clues to the question, what's the future? WTF? And for a long time, I got different answers. In the past year, wherever I go, I get the same answer. I come here today and I hear DD. I went to Karachi, Pakistan, DD. I went to San Antonio, Texas, DD. I went to Germany, DD. I went to France, le DD. What everybody is talking about when you ask them what the future is of course digitalization and Donald Trump. And I think this is the most symptomatic thing. We see the same thing everywhere today. Everywhere, everybody's talking about fake news. Everybody's talking about artificial intelligence. There are mixologists in every city, from Kiev to Karlstad in Sweden. And the reason for this is twofold. Number one, companies innovate using a process called R&D, which all of you know stands for rip off and duplicate. They steal and copy. Everybody steals and copies from each other. And there's a deeper reason for this. And the reason is, of course, what René Girard, the beautiful French sociologist, called mimetic desire. Madam, I'm sorry you didn't get to catch that. But you know, there's something called Instagram. So some other people, I'm sure, caught that. And you can copy them too. Anyway, mimetic desire, ladies and gentlemen, means that all of our desires, what you want in life, where you want to live, is copied from other people. This is why in Sweden everybody wants to live in Stockholm. In the north of Sweden, nobody. It's not the same in Lithuania, of course. People are evenly spread out. So you see, and think about where we go on vacation. You can go wherever you like in this beautiful big world, but increasingly we all go to the same places, Dubrovnik, Barcelona, Malaga, so they say no more tourists. Last year I was in Finland, there was nobody there. We copy each other. And what I really want you to think about today, and I've been thinking about this the entire day, is of course, do you want to compete or do you want to create? Do you want to copy others and compete? Do you want to be like others and fit in? Or do you want to create something new? Do you want to bring an idea into this world that hasn't been here before? It's your choice. But if you choose to create, which I hope, we live also in a world of magic, right? Telepathy. Telepathy, reading other people's thoughts, used to be black magic. Now we call telepathy Twitter. So you can see how what was once magic is becoming something every day. This you will recognize as a 5 megabyte portable hard drive in 1959. It was only something for rich white men. Today you can get 5 terabyte memory stick for free in some kind of trade show. I call this shift from the rich to everyone. IKEAification. And that's the magic of a technology. Today, everyone here can make global movies, 3D print, plan, communicate for free. We can live like kings and queens and emperors for free today. Robots. Everyone will have a robot in the coming 20 years. Robots, we are told, will steal our jobs. So which jobs should we focus on and which should we avoid? Number 1, probability that digitalization will lead to significant job losses. Most likely job to disappear, telemarketing. Because if you call people up without them asking for it, trying to sell them something, you will hear the words fuck and you very often. Trust me. And you will also need coffee, sugar, break, sleep, salary, commission. A robot can do it in the dark without nothing, 24 hours. This job will disappear. The second most likely job to disappear, according to this study from Oxford University, was accountants and auditors. So avoid, not only because they are boring jobs, but because it's about looking at vast amount of data, which machine learning does better than me or you. But what should we tell our children to study? Number 1, the least likely job to disappear was a dentist. Because a dentist works with her or his hands. And the hand has evolved over millions of years. Chess, 2,000 years old, easy for a computer to copy. Go, the board game from Asia, 2,500 years old, easy to copy. The hand has taken millions of years to evolve. Anything to do with your hands is a good idea. The second least likely job, what you should study for, who the people you should hire, were of course priests. Because priests try to answer questions that cannot be answered by Google. So working with ungoogleable knowledge will only become more and more valuable, ladies and gentlemen. Hire priests. Become a priest. Teach your children to become priests, clergy, imams, or some other religious deity. Those jobs will be safe for the future. And I start here because nearly all presentations about the future can be characterized by the word shit. Because nearly all presentations about the future today are about stuff happening in technology. S-H-I-T, shit. We think too much about blockchain, 3D printing and AI, and we think too little about us. How are we humans changing? I'm going to tell you how we are changing by showing you a diagram from a German study outlining the relation between average walking speed of pedestrians and city size. They are almost perfectly correlated. Which means that if you live in Vilnius, Stockholm, Shanghai, New York, you walk quickly. You don't even have time to listen to my talk. You go home early. You drink your coffee in a paper cup. You ride an electric scooter to work because your legs are just not fast enough. That's the experience of living in a city. If, on the other hand, you live almost anywhere in Latvia, you don't. You rest, stop, think. And our sense of hurry is ironic given that we are living longer. On average, Lithuanians have gained 17 minutes every day for the past 50 years of life. You are gaining life as you are listening to me. If you drink alcohol tonight, you lose a bit of life. Then you get it back tomorrow. Don't worry. You remember that stupid question we used to ask, what would you do if you had an hour extra? And people were like, read a book, make love, go to the gym. Ladies and gentlemen, you gain 1 hour of extra life every week and you use it to binge watch Game of Thrones, season 7. We are long-living, fast-walking. Finally, we are merging with technology. People today expect to be connected in an airplane at 30,000 feet. They expect to be connected in rural Latvia. We expect to be connected wherever we go in the world. And if you just put this together, look, you can see a portrait, a sketch. Who we are becoming in the future. We are becoming fast-walking, long-living, digital people working as priests. Any questions? The leaders of the future, your future customers, your future employees. And think about who we used to be. We used to be slow, analog people with short lives, obeying priests. This is why retailers are big, so you can walk slowly. This is why retailers are going bankrupt. People don't want to come to a big place with lots of selection anymore. This is why schools love books. Just because something has been cut down from a tree, a school thinks it's automatically wonderful. Well, think about this. Imagine that Steve Jobs invented the iPad in the year 1523. And imagine that Gutenberg invented the book in 2010. What would we say about the book then? Oh my God, my child is just sitting staring at dead text. She doesn't learn about graphics, communication, interactivity, or gaming. She is isolated. She will surely be radicalized and join Al-Qaeda sometime soon. Let's make our children look more at iPads and outlaw these. No more books in the classroom. That's what we would say. Short lives. Pension. Right? Pension. Pension was invented in Germany in 1889. Bismarck said that Germans who managed to become 70 should be allowed to retire. Life expectancy in Germany in 1889 was 55. So all of you in this room become a little bit better every year you do your job. So I see a world where we have all of these new opportunities inventing for whom we are becoming, not for whom we used to be. Most things you see around us are quite bad ideas, invented for people who increasingly no longer exist. It's up to us to remake, redream, reimagine. But this might actually be the most important. Because if you think about it, growing up in Lithuania, Sweden, we didn't have that many possibilities. Mixologist meant nothing. DJ, if If somebody said, I want to become a YouTuber, it meant they wanted to drive a train on the London Underground. Today, you have many possibilities. You can get all the music you want on Spotify, all the movies on Netflix, and you can fly Ryanair to Barcelona, all that for only 30 euros per month. We have more possibilities. But growing up in Lithuania and Sweden, a long time ago, we had lots of meaning. Why do we live? Why do we die? What's life about? What should I do? Today, it has all but disappeared. It has disappeared. We have a void, right? We are actually becoming meaning seekers. Think about the biggest hit of the past year and what it tells us. Think about the lyrics. Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? Meaning seeking defines our age. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to make money, build a company, create a movement, you have to make meaning. We can get possibilities, price bargains, market share, brands everywhere. We live in a world of sameness, so this is the scarce resource. We travel the world in search of meaning. And that ties me in to the F word. People love putting meaning in tomorrow. We love thinking about the future and thinking that it will become something that today is not. So let me ask you, Lithuania, Vilnius, vadovų konferencija, do you believe that the future is bright, shiny, optimistic and fantastic? Or do you believe that the future is a barrel of darkness and crap? Okay. Who believes it's a bright, shiny place of happiness? Put your hand up. And who believes it's a barrel of awfulness? And put your hand up. If you hate putting your hand up when asked a question by a speaker. I can see that you here today, you are a little bit like China. You see, there is a quarterly survey done by Ipsos Mori that asks citizens in countries around the world, do you feel your country is on the right or wrong track? Is the future beautiful or awful? And you, on average in the world, 59% feel that their country of living is on the wrong track. But you, dear Lithuanians, are like China. But compared to China, though, remember that the Chinese don't know what an opinion poll is. And you do. So you answer this honestly. We have a few optimistic countries and then a large group of just general pessimists. If you want to understand pessimism, come to Sweden. 74% feel that Sweden. And look at France. Even if you win the World Cup in football, it's no guarantee. Most people feel that their country is heading to oblivion. Now, when you ask the red people here, why do you feel your country is on the wrong track? You get big answers of fear. You don't get something easily solvable, like, I feel the tax rate is 2 percentage points too high. No. No. You get big answers. Oh my God, the future, Sweden. I feel the future is ISIS-trained robots with Ebola who will take my job, kill me and wreck the world economy unless I avoid gluten. And they believe this crap. What they feel is liquid fear. They're not fear of anything specific. They're afraid of their imagination on things they've read on blogs. Life in the world is generally better, healthier, wealthier and richer, but people feel that there is something dark hiding. liquid fear. And if we put these together, you get a really nice backdrop. You are here from the world of business, politics, leadership, academia. These are the trends you will need to address. So let me put them in the shape of a question. How do you love, build, create, lead, innovate, make love in a world where the same thing is happening everywhere? Magic is real. People seek meaning. And Mr. Photographer, just move a little bit to the right. Thank you. Feel liquid fear. This is a deep question. This means that you can test what you do on a daily basis to see if you answer this question. And if you don't, you are probably wasting your time. And remember that wasting your time in the long run is the same as wasting your life. And I don't have an answer. But I have it. Hold on. There will be plenty of room for that at the end, sir. I don't have an answer, but I have a question and that story. You see, 10 years ago, I was invited to a leadership conference, not as good as this one, but still, in Oslo, Norway. But instead of chairs, they asked the delegates to sit on Pilates balls. You know, the big rubber balls that you find in a gym. So you had all these Norwegian leaders coming in. And I don't know if you've ever seen a Norwegian angry. It's really funny because they sound happy. What the hell is this? They all understood that the balls were there to sit on, that it was good for posture, but nobody wanted to be first sitting on a ball, so they waited and they waited and they waited, and then one person sat on a ball. And you all know this person. The idiot. There is an idiot in every company. If you don't know who the idiot is in your company, it's probably you. That's always good to know. When the idiot sat down, nothing happened. When the second person sat down, it was another idiot, nothing happened. When the third person sat down, it was like magic. Because we went from 3 people, blink, 15, blink, 200, blink, everyone. Nobody was sitting, nobody, 1, 2, boom. Everyone, I drew a little diagram for you to show what this looks like. It's my handwriting, it's really bad. Nothing, nobody, 1, 2, boom. You know, it's like ketchup. Ketchup all over the plate. And you know what's funny about this curve? You can put everything up there. You can put number of people who install solar panels on their roof. Nobody, 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 everyone in Germany. You can see number of people who want to have an electric car. Nobody, nobody, a bunch of losers, everybody. This is incidentally also how we age, right, in life. You're young, you're young, you're young, but you're old. There is nothing in between, trust me. If we live in a world of catch-up curves, we should never again use the word the future. We should only use it as an activity to future. Something you can do and you need to do on a daily basis. What do I mean? Well, broadly speaking, I mean 3 things. Number 1, look elsewhere. social media. We are too social. We copy each other. We look at what others are doing. You live your life competing, which means you will miss some of the most important trends and opportunities because you were busy hanging out with your friends in agreement, and the opportunity or the threat was elsewhere. This is why diversity matters. Too many of us are only interested in people who look good. And we think that good-looking people also smell good. And they say the right things and they are intelligent. And these are the kind of people we want to hire and hang out with. And I say, look elsewhere. Look for people who are ugly. They smell bad. When they talk, you really don't understand. It's weird, abstract, strange. I don't know what they're talking about. And the opposite of being intelligent is that they are very intelligent. The difference between being a salesperson and an engineer, ladies and gentlemen. So now you can see, look elsewhere, diversity, build the world's fastest car. Then experimentation. Alfred Nobel started by blowing things up, including his baby brother. And we just don't do that anymore. Because now we have risk managers, compliance. And I'm not just talking about Swedbank. You see, we need to experiment firstly because we are bad at predicting the future. Nobody knows what it will be. The future doesn't exist, it's an activity. You need to experiment. Does it work? Does it not work? The second reason is, of course, this. The cost of doing IKEAification is going down. You can do whatever you want. You are powerful today as an individual. But the cost of waiting is going up. The cost of saying, let's see what McKinsey has to say. They will give us 590 PowerPoint slides. Maybe we will be able to launch something in Q4 in 2 years' time. The cost of saying those words are more expensive than they've ever been in a world where more people can do things. More people experiment. The third reason to experiment. Think about babies. Babies learn by experimenting. They put things in the mouth. If it tastes good, they do it again. If it's not poisonous and they die, they will keep doing that. If it tastes bad, cry, wake you up, life is awful, and so on. We are all babies. Throughout life, we experiment. We see, does it work? Trial and error. Does it not work? I don't know. This I took from a presentation called When Groups of Men Do Things Together. The purpose of experimentation is planned failure. You do it to learn. You don't experiment to succeed, you do it to fail and learn about the failure. But people are so worried now. Liquid fear. Oh my God, Muslims. Oh my God, Russia. Oh my God, this. Oh my. People are worried. What's the next disaster to hit our economy? I am serious. No country, no company ever failed by trying and experimenting on a low level. The reason most companies and countries fail is that they do the same thing for too long. As Nancy Sinatra said, you keep saying when you ought to be changing. Think about the Finland paper mill called Nokia. Finland, as you know, is one of the most crazy countries in the world. I would argue that Lithuania is even crazier. People just haven't noticed it yet. But think about, for inspiration, most people go to very boring Silicon Valley, when in reality they should just go to Finland, where they used to have a sauna world championship, but they had to stop it because Finnish people kept dying as they tried to win the sauna championship. Every year in August, they have the annual air guitar world championship. Every year in October, they have the carry your wife world championship. You can actually carry somebody else's wife too. This is the tagline for Helsinki. Nobody in their right mind would come to Helsinki in November except you badass. Welcome. And you know in hotels how they have American breakfast and continental breakfast? In my vacation in Finland this summer, I tried Finland breakfast. Hot coffee with vodka plus 1 cigarette. Simply amazing. So Nokia are in a crazy country and they experiment. They buy a cable factory. And the cable factory enables them to learn about rubber, the new technology of rubber. And knowing about rubber enables them to apply this knowledge to plastics. And they're able to make things out of plastic. How old are you, young lady? Just how old roughly? When were you born? 1985. Huh? Do you know what these things are here? Because you are well read. There is intelligence in you. You know, very often when I meet young people like yourself, I have to explain that we didn't really need Fitbits or avocado on toast. We got all our exercise from carrying a mobile phone around. Sorry. So Nokia stopped experimenting and they did only one thing for 20 years. It was very successful. They came close to the sun. They became a king. And you all know what happens to the king or the queen. They get killed by Californian fruit companies or Lithuanian startups. Now, the learning here is what I want you to remember. Because Nokia's new chairman, they were almost bankrupt. The new chairman brought them back. He changed Nokia. They sold away the cell phones. They started experimenting again. And they asked him, Mr. Risto Siilasmaa, chairman of Nokia, founder of F-Secure, what did Nokia learn? And he said, what Nokia learned was that success is toxic. Success makes you lazy and arrogant. This is why tomorrow morning you should all look in the mirror and say the words, I am a fucking loser. Just do that for me. Because if you do that, you will become nobody and you will be open and you will be an amateur and you will be humble and you will be curious. So I really mean, have patience. Because large companies are characterized by this formula: internal resistance to new ideas is a function of the number of employees to the power of the number of management levels. But I also mean this: fashion is beautiful today but ugly tomorrow. Think of Andre Agassi in 1991. Art is ugly today but beautiful tomorrow. If you want to create something new, whatever it might be, a drawing, a new kind of relationship, a service, you have to be willing to be misunderstood for a very, very long time. What I really mean by these words is connected to experiment. Be ugly and misunderstood. I'm gonna start the disco a little bit early. Do 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 do.
Is it that ice cold Michelle?
That was just a teaser for what's coming tonight. The reason I wanted to share Uptown Funk with you is because it has 11 songwriters. Today, if you want to have a hit song, you cannot just have one or two, you have to have many songwriters. Uptown Funk, 11, Shallow, 9. Something is going on. Think about the number of people, brains and minds and countries needed to produce modern things. Your shirt, your phone, your plane, a library, a book, ideas, no boundaries. Think about the number of Nobel Prize recipients each year. It used to be one genius winning, now it's groups and organizations and people working together. We see something happening. We talk about nationalism and we say that globalization is over, but it still lives here in Lithuania. Because you have talked today about the dream of Europe. You have talked today about believing in something bigger than these small, silly things we call nations. And what I have seen here today is that we are moving from a world of I, thee, me, mine, to a world of we-dies. I saw it this morning, because as I came into the conference, it said, Confin, come getting together for excellence. And it reminded me of a quote. Innovation happens when ideas have sex. Vadovų konferencija is, broadly speaking, an orgy. You come here as a broken individual. You've been sitting alone at home with half-baked, broken thoughts and ideas that are frankly rubbish. You are here to let your ideas and maybe your body have sex with other ideas. I would like us to just think about this, not only for tomorrow as you have a hangover. I mean, we are far from the shallows now, where the streets have no name. I'm loving angels instead. But what I hope is this, ladies and gentlemen, if you let your mind have sex with another mind, if your ideas merges with other ideas, if you are willing to be ugly, misunderstood for a long time, if you say I am a loser, if you open yourself to the new, then maybe, just maybe, we will have that bright, shiny future that all of you believed in. And I will be able to say that I started it all. At vadovų konferencijos Lietuva, Arvidas Sabonis and his son, we are the winners of Eurovision. Thank you.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Styling, wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch.